What's up, guys? Mr. Dan here. This is obviously from the title, you see this is my response to the Sean Erschen Road to 1,000 subscribers contest. Here are my answers. I think I'm gonna head over there. Okay, question number one. Favorite slasher? There's always Halloween, but the original. But if I had to think about a film I would like to rewatch right now, even though I just watched it and watched it with commentary the next day and did a lot of research about it and went on the Night Watch Zone for Slasher Movie Club and talked about it for about an hour and 15 minutes, which is almost as long as the movie, it would have to be Alice, Sweet Alice. That's my criteria there. That's the movie I would would most want to rewatch right now. So yeah, there is talk of a remake directed by the director's nephew. I can't remember his name, but he's directed some pretty decent horror films. So I don't know. Anyway, that's favorite slasher. Second question. Favorite murder mystery. This one I had to think about. I mean, there's some classic, straight-up Agatha Christie films from the 70s, 80s that are pretty good, but I'm going to go with Lady Vengeance. I've always loved this film, part of the Vengeance trilogy from South Korea. It has many elements to it, but there is sort of a murder mystery involved. I mean, you do sort of find out who the culprit is, but there's more to that is introduced as it goes on. So it's not structured like a typical whodunit, but I think it qualifies. So, Lady Vengeance. Next, favorite classic horror film. I'm tempted to go with Creature from the Black Lagoon based on what I'm looking at now. Nice primordial ooze we got here. So for me, growing up in the 70s, being a young child in the 70s, through my teen years in the 80s, graduating high school in the 80s, classic films to me are, between the 30s and 60s, I suppose. So we're talking Universal Monsters, Hammer films, classic horror films like them, Night of the Demon, some of those might be a little more science fiction oriented. Boy, I'm gonna, you know what though? I'm gonna go with Hammer. I have such affinity for this film. I'm gonna go with Hammer's Mummy, 1959, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. At the moment, that is my favorite classic horror film. Next, favorite director. This is a toughie. It's a real hard one. Sean mentioned could be anybody. Doesn't have to be somebody who specialized in horror. I mean, you got Kubrick, you got Akira Kurosawa. But so I'm going to go with the director who's probably given me the most enjoyment. Has a phenomenal track record. That's not to will I ever watch a Stanley Kubrick film again that I've already seen? Probably. Am I dying to? No, not really. Not at the moment. Could I watch Big Trouble in Little China right now? Do I want to watch? I can't wait. My son's going to college. It just occurred to me, when he comes back, me and my two boys, we got to watch Escape from New York. My oldest son, when my son was before he was born, they were having a baby shower. So we decided, me and my brother and my son, my other son, we decided to have what my son later called a man's day because the girls were doing the baby shower. So what did we do? We watched Big Trouble in Little China just to check that one off of his list. So yeah, I mean, as far as just sheer enjoyment, nostalgia reasons, great track record, I'm going to go with John Carpenter. Next, favorite horror or science fiction, TV series, or both. So for sci-fi, I'm going to go with, it's close, Fond Memories of the original Star Trek. Showed my son a couple episodes recently, but I'm going to go with Star Trek: The Next Generation. I was skeptical when I heard it was coming out at the time. I didn't really get into it until like the second season. Came out when I was in college, and I ate it up. So Star Trek: Next Generation, great series. Now, if you want to do a separate series for horror, I mean, it's actually probably more sci-fi than horror, but it has elements of both. Great series, classic series. X-Files. I probably prefer some of the standalone horror-oriented episodes more than I do the big story arc, abduction episodes. There's a half dozen episodes that are pure horror in that series, and it's pretty much as horrifying as anything that's been on TV. So that's my qualification there. So there you go. There are my answers to Sean's Road to 1,000 subs contest. If you're not subbed to Sean, if you don't follow him, you need to do that. He's got great content. So yeah, if you follow me, you're probably already following Sean. But if not, you got to go check him out and make sure you subscribe and tell your friends. Thanks a lot.